Hey friends, what's going on? I am V. Welcome to my channel, V Loving Crystals. So a few weeks ago, I asked a question in my poll about shadow work, and if you would like to join me in the journey to learning more about shadow work. And a lot of people said yes. I think it was like 30 votes, and I think maybe 1 or 2 people said no. It was like 4%, and then the rest was like yes, 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 yes. So yeah, I think it was like 97% of you said yes. So thank you so much for voting in this poll. So I myself am new to shadow work, and I feel like my light work self wants to become a better light worker, and so I need to dive into shadow work in order to shine my bright light. So there's like some things I need to work on internally, spiritually, when it comes to my shadows. And so I thought, why not do this on camera and help people go through their shadows and just kind of like, I guess, educate us on exactly what shadows are and what the whole process is like, or what, a glimpse of what it looks like, and learn more about it. So if you're new, please do consider subscribing. I am so happy to see this channel growing. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're looking for pick a card readings, do check out my new pick a card channel, which was my reaction channel. That's why I have a lot of subscribers over there, even though I did lose like a few hundred. Actually, no, it was like a few thousand. So please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell on that channel so that you don't miss out on my pick a cards, which I do daily. So on this channel, I post deck reviews, and I'm doing light worker videos, and now shadow work videos. So I am using the Emerging from Darkness book, Using Tarot for Personal Shadow Work by Robin L. Cole, and it came with the deck. I did a little walkthrough on this when I first received it. This was a gift from my father figure. I think it was like last year or the year before. And so I plucked out the full card because we're going to go in order for my Virgo brain and for everyone else's, sanity. So keep everybody sane and not scattered. And yeah, we're gonna go in order. So I'm going to just basically. I'm going to read a little bit from this book just to like introduce us to shadow work, and I'm going to be uploading one of these videos. I'm going to go through the whole major arcanas. The whole tarot, major and minor arcanas from start to finish. So it might take me a few months. So I'm going to build our playlist as I go through the cards, the videos. And so check back on the playlist to see what new videos have been uploaded, and hope that you can give me some input, and let me know how your shadow work journey is going by leaving comments below, and come back every single week to see a new card be discussed. So to start this first video, so Emerging from Darkness. So I have a few shadow work decks that I like to use, and I think I scratched the surface when it comes to doing shadow work readings for myself, for everyone else. And so to better understand exactly what shadow work entails and what exactly shadow work is, I thought that I would really try to learn it as much as I can. So from my understanding, I'm not going by with what this is saying. From my understanding, based on what I've done some shadow work readings for myself and personal readings, like I said. From my understanding, it's basically, shadow work is basically, us dealing with things that make us feel uncomfortable, things that are hidden within ourselves. Like let's say I have abandonment issues, and I'm constantly trying to stuff that away, or it just gets triggered once in a while, or let's say I have codependency issues, and it activates every time I fall in love with someone, and it's like all of a sudden I want to be controlling, and I want to attach myself to them, and I can become very smothering, and so if I don't understand that part of myself, it's like I'm doing myself a disservice. Like I need to understand why I'm that way. Why am I such a codependency control freak? or a codependent person or a control freak? Why do I have abandonment issues? Why do I smile at people with my love and affection? Why do I shout when I should just talk normally? What, etc. So I can have all these different negative traits about myself, and I don't understand why that is, or why it occurs, or what my triggers are, and etc. So I thought I would understand myself better by going through this book and educating myself and sharing what I'm learning with everyone. So this book is really cool because when I first got it, I was like, oh, okay, it goes with the book. I mean, it goes with the tarot, so it's just to explain the tarot. But then when I started really reading, I'm like, wait, what? Using tarot for personal shadow work. And then I started just glimpsing at all this. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually a learning tool. So why not go through it? So that's from my understanding, really diving into the reasons, to the negative part of ourselves, Oh, and I do have my archetype cards, which it just occurred to me that these also have shadow attributes in the bottom. So I really want to use more of these shadow attributes for more shadow work. So, okay, so that was my understanding, my take on it. And by dealing with your shadows, you're kind of healing yourself. You're like, it's kind of like you're doing a therapy session. You're talking about all these feelings and these negative, dark, heaviness of feelings, and you're like just pouring out and pouring out and pouring out. And your psychiatrist or your therapist, your psychologist is helping you figure out exactly what is happening with you and why it's happening, and etc., etc. And so I also want to say that when I was going through my shadow work a few years ago, I was depressed about something, and I wrote about it every single day for a month. And let me tell you, that helped me so much. At the end of the month, it's not like I intended to do it every month. It just happened that I just had this thirst to want to write. At the end of the month, I was laughing. I was laughing at myself. I couldn't believe how I was feeling. I couldn't believe it. I felt so silly. I felt so stupid. But anyway, that was part of my healing journey. And I was able to go to the very end of the rainbow, where I found happiness. I found like the weight being lifted. I found that the weight was lifted off my shoulders, and I was able to laugh. You know how they say, oh, you'll laugh about this one day. This will be of the past. This too shall pass. You're like, yeah, right. But yeah. So it's true. So if you can journal your experiences, I'm probably going to journal as I go through this, probably not on camera, so that I can keep things that part personal, private. So if you want to journal with me, feel free to do so. Take out your journal book, take out your cards, take out whatever you want. So with this book, I'm using the Emerging from Darkness Tarot, but I'm also using my Witch Becomes Her Oracle, because it does have a lot of archetypes, but it also has that energy of like, it's like no sugar coating energy. Like, I can describe people's energies with this deck, but I can also dive into the dark, deep side of things. And I noticed, I'm like, wow, this is pretty deep. And I didn't even intend for it to be that deep. But when you channel and you do something, you go really thorough into something, especially creating a deck, you have to dive deeper into everything, every nook and cranny of your light, of your shadows, right? And so, anyway, so I'm going to be using this as a buddy system to accompany this book and the tarot. All right, so let me begin. Let me know what your shadow, your definition for shadow work is, and what a shadow is. Let me know what you feel that is for yourself. And I'm going to explain what this person's take on shadow work is. Her name is Robin Cole. So let's see. Number 1, what is shadow? By Carl Jung. That was, he was a famous, he was known, psychiatrist. A Swiss psychiatrist, yes. He's known for doing shadow work. Okay. That which we do not bring to consciousness appears in our lives as fate. Shadow work. Sounds mysterious and a bit spooky, doesn't it? In all actuality, shadow work is neither of those things. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of what shadow work is and how you can use tarot cards to explore and facilitate your journey into it, let's discuss what exactly shadow means in this context. And feel free to use whatever tarot deck you have. You don't have to use whatever I have. whatever floats your boat. If you want to even bring your cards out, I suggest getting your book, getting a tarot, a set of tarot, get your journal, and pause the video periodically so that you can go at your own pace. Take whatever notes you need to take. So the shadow is actually a psychology term that was first coined by renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. In Jungian psychology, the term shadow ID or a variation on the term, such as shadow aspects, all refer to the same thing. Any aspect of our personalities that we reject and repress, whether we originally do so consciously or unconsciously. There are many different types of shadows that can form, and innumerable reasons that they do. We all have parts of ourselves that we hide deep in shadow. That's true. It's like sometimes we're in denial, sometimes we don't understand it, sometimes we're like, ew, what is that? I don't want to talk about it. I don't like that feeling. Forget, and then we suppress it. But then if you notice, if it lingers, or not lingers, but it creeps up on us when we're happy, or we're in the bathroom, or taking a shower, or having such a beautiful moment, all of a sudden we get triggered. It just creeps on up. Why? Because we never healed it. We never dealt with it. We never understood it. We never took time to really feel that emotion. We just buried it away, Well, I know I do. I can't speak for everyone else. I know I did. We all have parts of ourselves that we hide deep in shadow. Sometimes these are aspects of ourselves that we don't like, or that we think society won't like. Other times they are the effects and feelings that happen to us during traumatic events that we cannot fully deal with at the time they occurred. Awesome. So if you want to get this book, awesome. I don't want to give everything, we're just going to go touch on the basics, but if you want this book, I'll have it linked to where you can find the tarot and the book, or the book by itself. So, man, I'm so thankful. Thank you, my father figure, for bringing this into my life. I mentioned just liking the tarot, and he got the book for me too, so thank you so much, father figure. So, look, and then she has these different types of shadow processes. We have shadow identification, shadow excavation, shadow exploration, shadow transformation, shadow integration. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. You have no idea. Look, she even ended it with a heart. That's how I end my messages, or how I sign off on things. Freaking awesome. We're in alignment. Okay. Then she talks about how can tarot be used for shadow work. Choosing a tarot deck for shadow work. That's right, you can choose whatever you wish, whatever you have on hand. Okay, now I'm going to skip to, I'm going to skip to how can tarot be used for shadow work. So, what is a shadow? No, I want to go to what is shadow work. So, we talked about what a shadow is, and now we're going to talk about what is shadow work. The work behind it, which is so important. We can figure out what exactly a shadow is, but come on, are we willing to work and dive into our shadows? Are we ready for that? That's the question. So shadow work is a self-driven process of identifying and exploring your hidden shadow aspects. There are various ways one can do this, but the method we will be discussing and using in this book involves the use of tarot cards. Using the cards to guide us, we can dig deep down and find what we have hidden in the soul muck, working through them rather than ignoring them, hoping they get better on their own. Our psyches have worked hard to bury these shadows deep and obscure them from our conscious mind's view. It's not always easy for us to put a name to them, even when we want to. Using the tarot to identify the shadows helps us to pinpoint how and why they are affecting us, effectively shedding light into some of our darker corners. So, I don't want to give all the information from this book, because, if you're feeling intrigued, if you're feeling like you want to really do this work, you might want to find your own book that you can hold in your hand. But I'm just gonna go from the cliff notes, or just give you what I can to just preface this series, because I don't want to give all the goodness in a video. I want people to be able to dig deep into their own shadows and find a book that best suits them. So if you think this book would self-suit you, then freaking awesome. If you think that you can find a better book, then awesome. Wow, I love this. Shadow shame, shadow anger. Oh my gosh. Shadow fear. This is freaking awesome. So, oh my gosh, yes. And then she has a spread here. So if you have your book, you can, or whatever book you want, you can use that alongside this series. This is just like an extra tool, like a sidebar to help you with your shadow work. But this is what I'm using, and I'm just going to give you what I feel is necessary to just start, to propel us, or to jumpstart our journey. Okay, so let's get into the major arcana. So I'm going to actually, on my own time, I'm going to read those first few pages on my own time, and then do my own homework. So I would suggest you do your own homework too. This is just like, you know, what's it called, a supplement. It's not like the whole thing. Like, you have to really do your own work, or want to do your own work when it comes to things that, you know, take place within your shadows and within you personally. But here's some food for thought and some help. So we got the Fool, right? So shadow keywords, we have fear of the unknown, lack of faith, hesitation, holding back, taking unnecessary risks, carelessness, distraction, and oh my gosh, I could never say this right. Naivete, where you're, you know, naive. You're naive. Okay, so the Fool in shadow. New beginnings are hard. Sometimes we jump into them with both feet, ready for whatever the universe sends our way. But other times we fear that we might lose, should that leap of faith not result in stable ground on the other side. The Fool in shadow is unable to grasp his innate power, the power of faith. Normally, he's ready to go, full of that innocent hope and blind ambition of one who knows things are going to turn out for the best. When that faith is taken away from him, he stagnates, wearing blinders that prevent him from seeing the truth of the world around him. He becomes sloppy, good intentions going out of the window, as he blunders around, unseeing, hoping that fate will rescue him from having to make a decision. Wow, so we're also learning about another side of the tarot that we didn't know was there. I mean, we do with reversals, right? But some of us don't read reversals. So this, like I said, is a learning experience. This is such a learning experience for us. And when you shuffle your tarot deck and you get these cards, you can come back to the video and figure out, you can figure out more information about the tarot deck. You can use this video series as a way to help you reacquaint yourself with each of the tarot cards. And then you can take your own notes, or maybe just go from your own notes. So this is awesome. Okay, when the Fool appears as one of your shadows, you've been wearing those blinders for too long. It's time to ask, are you waiting for a sign? Or do you have your head stuck in the sand, ignoring the need for change out of fear? When the Fool appears as one of your shadows, you've been wearing those blinders for too long. It's time to ask. Ready? Number 1, are you waiting for a sign? Or do you have your head stuck in the sand, ignoring the need for change out of fear? 2, have you been acting from a place of true spontaneity, or are your actions reckless for the sake of being reckless? 3, where is your focus these days? Are you looking toward the future, or are you allowing the past to distract you from what you need to do? Oh my gosh, I can see this. It's kind of like also, I don't know, I'm also getting a sense of not wanting to face your fears, not wanting to take a risk, take a leap of faith out of fear, out of not knowing what's going to happen after you jump off the cliff. It's the fear of the unknown, right? It's a fear of a beginning or a change. So the Fool hiding with hiding like a dog with the tail between his legs, not wanting change, not wanting to face a task or a project or a confrontation or what have you. And yeah, lack of faith, lack of hope, lack of positivity. It's like, yeah, it's like, anyway, what I'm getting with this, it's making so much sense to me. So thank you, Robin Cole, for helping us understand about the Fool's Shadow. Freaking awesome. Fool's Shadows. So now these are her notes. In most Fool cards, our plucky young figure is merrily dancing towards a cliff's edge, full of that innocence and hope that tells him the universe will not let anything bad befall him. In shadow, this version of the Fool is seated upon the ground, unmotivated, motionless. He's not seeking his new beginning. He's not pursuing his destiny. He's waiting, lost and listless, for a sign that he's not sure will ever come. Oh my gosh, so amazing. So the next one is going to be about the magician's journey. The magician's shadow side. Oh my gosh, so this is so freaking awesome. You have no idea. I feel my light bulb moment is going off right now. So I would suggest, we're not done yet, but what I'm saying is I don't want to give too much of this book away, because then you'll get everything from me, from my video, and I want people to, be encouraged to buy the book or get a book that pertains to shadow work, because out of respect for Robin Cole's hard work that she poured into the book. So that's why I'm not going to go deeper than that. So we're just going tarot by tarot by tarot every week. So the Fool card. Now here is where we cut off from Robin Cole's wonderful lesson and wonderful golden wisdom of nuggets, and now we step into the part of the video where I put my spin on it, my intuitive spin on it. So the Fool, to me, okay, so the Fool right side up, yeah, taking risks, saying, come on, I want to be spontaneous, I want to just see what's gonna be on the other side. Actually, I just want to go. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I just want to go. I'm gonna see where my intuition takes me, right? I got everything I need and more. I have my friends, companionship. I have my knapsack. I have my pride. I have the sun on my side. It's a brand new day. And if I get hungry, I got leaf petals. Or I can eat a bug for protein, whatever. Or I have little pieces of food in my knapsack. Maybe I'll learn how to fish along the way. So I just feel like this is just very carefree energy. And I also get like the whole baby energy, like this brand new life, ready to explore. It's, every time I think of the Fool, I think of a baby being born. And it's like, oh wow, I get attention by screaming my lungs off. Wah! And then the baby screams louder and louder. And then that's how they communicate. That's how they connect with us, right? So it's kind of like the Fool, the baby, learning how to navigate through whatever resources he or she has, with the resources he or she has. Oh, I have my lungs. And when I use these lungs, or whatever this thing that comes out of my mouth that makes a lot of noise, I get a reaction. And so anyway, I just think of the Fool as a brand new baby being born, and then over time, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I got these little things right here. Let me put them in my mouth. Oh, I'm putting my toes in my mouth, but I don't know that they're toes. I don't know that they're used for walking. But let me just put them in my mouth to see what that feels like. And then over time, oh, I can actually move these legs. Oh, I want to climb. I feel like I want to do something spontaneous. Let me start climbing and start kicking and start walking and toddling, So it's like as a Fool, we're discovering parts of ourselves. It's a brand new world. You don't know what is what. So we're just going and going and going and seeing where life takes us. Being very spontaneous, And just think of a toddler not knowing what the repercussions are for climbing on a glass table, a sharp glass table, or a table with sharp edges. But we're going to find out by just exploring. It's like your parent says, don't touch that, it's hot. And the kid's like, what? And then you just go. You have to explore on your own. And then you learn the hard way. Just like the Fool. The Fool goes to the majors and learns the hard way. He learns, oh my gosh, I got all these lessons. I even got this tower moment. Oh my gosh, I got this dev I have to meet with. And this death card. So anyway, I just think of the Fool as like a baby, you know, at the very beginning stages of his or her life, and not having any rules, not having any, it's like a blank slate, very clean slate. And now it's up to the Fool to paint his or her canvas with whatever tools are around him or her as they go through their journey. And so they pick up tools. The Fool picks up tools by meeting, you know, after meeting the magician and the high priestess, whether it's wisdom tools or actual tools, like things that they get from those energies, you know, like the magician. Maybe the magician gave him some wisdom or showed him how to use his power, or maybe the magician gave him something else. And then you see the high priestess. Maybe the high priestess helped him figure out what his intuition is. And anyway, so wow, this is just amazing. So now for the shadow side of the Fool, in my opinion, it's, yeah, like I said, it's like the fear of the unknown. Oh, I don't want to move across country because I'm afraid of X, Y, and Z. What if I don't meet friends? What if there's no good food there? What if I don't make money there? What if I hate the weather? What if I can't make good money or good coworker friends? What if? It's the fear. And it could also be, oh, I know I'm going to find a job there, but I'm scared of working in another country. You know, I'm scared of X, Y, and Z. The fear and or knowing that you have to go move to another country and knowing that you have to apply to a job, and it's like, you know, you got to face your fears, but you're afraid to do it, so you go the other way. The Fool goes the other way and hides like a dog with the tail between its legs, you know? So that's how, I don't know, that's just my depiction, my interpretation for what the Fool is in reverse. You know, coming from the shadow point of view, the shadow, yeah. And the dog is like, you know, in reverse, the dog's not so happy. The dog's like, no, I ain't going over there. What are you smoking? What do you think you're doing? You're leading me, and we're going blindsided? I ain't going that way. I don't know what's over there. Let me go back home. The dog's very smart and intuitive as well. And the Fool also could be someone who, okay, so I'm not trying to offend anybody, but the Fool could be someone who's very uptight as well. You know, uptight with, you know, trying new things, uptight with saying yes sometimes. Like, oh, my friend wants to take me out to the dance club. No, I'm not about the club scene. I'm not about the bar scene, which, you know, I'm not into the bar scene as well, you know. So then maybe I can say, you know what, I'm not into the club scene, the bar scene, but, and maybe I never tried it before, so I'm judging it right off the bat. So it's my friend's birthday, she's having her birthday party in the club, and I don't want to miss her birthday bash, so I'll just go, but let me go with my intuition first. Do I feel like I will be safe? Do I feel like it's a green light? Let me check in with myself first. All right, I think I should go, even though I'm freaking scared, even though I don't like this club scene. What if, so then I end up, you know, I trust my intuition, I feel it's okay, I get the green light, and I go, and I end up feeling nervous and anxious, but in hindsight, I actually step out of my comfort zone and I make it bigger. I feel so proud of myself for expanding my horizons and trying this new thing out. And I was with my friend, I was with her friends, and we all felt safe. We were all together. We made sure everyone got home safely, etc. I'm just giving an example. So, you know, the Fool could be like, no, I'm saying no all across the board. I don't want to try this tomato. No. Right off the board. I don't like it. No. Or I'm afraid there's going to be a worm in it. No. And, you know, closed-mindedness also, out of not knowing how it's going to taste or etc. So the Fool opening his mind some and facing fears or facing the change or facing the unknown. That's just my interpretation. All right, and you know what I'm going to do? actually, I want to use my Eden Gray tarot book, also a gift, a wonderful gift, just like this card as well, this deck, from my father figure. And this is like my Bible. So I want to see what Eden Gray's depiction, or not depiction, the definition for the Fool is. Let's see. Divinatory meaning. So if you want this book, please, by all means, find it on Amazon. This is my go-to book. This is my everything. Like, I love this. And this was a hand-me-down from my father figure. So this was his original copy, and he passed it on to me. So, divinatory meaning. The subject of the reading is a dreamer, a mystic. He has the desire to accomplish a great goal. He must be careful to make the right choice. If he thinks that when, quote, when ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise, unquote, then he is indeed the fool. So in other words, if ignorance is bliss, then I'm wise. Then he's the fool for thinking that. That's interesting. And then in reverse, so that was right side up. Now in reverse, folly, indiscretion, thoughtless action, the choice is likely to be faulty. Indiscretion, thoughtless action, the choice is likely to be faulty. So now Eden Gray's depiction is like saying, okay. See, now I'm learning. So Eden Gray's depiction is being very careless. Well, yeah, that's what Robin said too. See, I'm learning. I'm a slow learner. So I'm not using this to teach you. I'm learning with you. So we're learning together. So Eden is saying carelessness, jumping, but that's what the Fool is right side up too. But it's like there's no thought behind it. It's like, it's just very like daredevilish. Just go, I don't give a F. And yeah, carelessness. Just like, yes, exactly. That does make sense. Just go, indiscretion, thoughtless action, no planning, none of that. See, the Fool in right side up, he planned. But in reverse, there's no action, there's no goal, there's no thought, there's no plan B. And so because of that, the plan might not follow through. See, I'm so glad I pulled that book. So like I said, I'm learning. So my depiction, my interpretation for the Fool in reverse, that's just how I see things. And it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. That's just where my intuition wanted me to take me. And so if you get a different depiction for the Fool in reverse, the shadow side, that is how you see the Fool. If you know what the Fool is right side up, and you want to switch it and bring it closer to you, and it means something different to you, then go with your intuition. Go with your intuition. That's what I've learned. And of course, use your book if you want the verbatim word for word for the Fool in reverse. But I would always, I always feel like I want to go with my intuition, So you can use both the book keywords, and your intuition. That's what makes people so, multifaceted when it comes to reading cards, because they can pick whatever resonates with them at that time in that reading. So that is just what I'm getting. So, so that's just my spin on it. And then we have Eden Gray, which I really appreciate her words for the Fool in reverse. And that can just be the reversal. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the shadow. So what does the shadow mean for you when it comes to the Fool? What does that mean to you? Right side up, he's spontaneous. He just wants to have fun. He has the sun on his side. But for the shadow, that can mean something completely different for the Fool. Complete opposite. In reverse. The dog not going with him happily, jolly. No, going backwards with the tail between his legs, hiding. Now, I don't want to see what's over there. Might be a mean old dog over there with sharp, gnarly teeth. That's what I feel. Is the Fool and the dog's shadow. Alright, so let's see. Learning curve, right? So this is my Witch Becomes Her Oracle, and I want to see what this has to say. Please help me clarify the Fool's shadow. I use this for many things. I just said that, yeah, I said that. To figure out someone's energy, the spiritual side of things, what our spiritual gifts are, what our magic is, and shadow work. Please help me clarify the Fool. The Fool. If you're interested in this deck, it's on my Etsy shop down below. Please help me describe the Fool's energy. Please help me describe the Fool's energy. Shadow. Fool's shadow. Please help me describe Fool's shadow. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's bring you in. So the first one I have here, actually this one came up first. Let's put that in order. Okay, so we're going to dive deep into this. So Blade Witch, direct, precise, relentless. So to me, the Fool shadow clarified by this Blade Witch is, yeah, look, relentless. What? So like what? Impulsiveness? Cutthroat, just go for it. Thoughtless. Yes, no thought in mind. No, just go. No calculating, no strategizing, nothing. Just very careless. Like, I don't care if I spill milk all over my beautiful shirt. Chocolate milk all over my white shirt. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm just going to go for it. And that kind of energy. Direct, precise, relentless. So impulsive. Just without a thought, right? Without a plan. I just stepped on these crazy sharp rocks, right? But then I keep doing it. I'm like, I don't care. Whatever. I don't care if my feet get scarred. Or I'm throwing rocks at somebody. I don't care if that's going to hurt them. I'm relentless. You know, like that kind of energy. Like just very careless, right? Inconsiderate as well, if you want to take it further. So, and then we have the Cosmic Witch. Astrology, celestial bodies, and starseed. So that clarifying the Fool. The Fool. Okay, starseed. So I'm getting like the Fool with his head up in the clouds. Head up in space. No, past the clouds, up in space. Not feeling grounded. That's what I'm getting with this card. The lack of groundedness, you know? Just like he's floating, like he's invincible, like he can he can put himself on railroad track and see the train coming and be like, whatever, nothing's gonna happen to me, I'm invincible. What the heck, you're not Superman, you're not made of steel. So that's what I'm getting, a celestial body, starseed. I don't know, I'm getting like galaxy, like someone who's just very not very grounded and making these crazy impulsive, decisions and relentless about it. Yeah, I just stubbed my toe on this. I just swam in a river with leeches. I got all these leeches on me. And then he wakes up the next morning and does the same thing. It's like he doesn't learn. Is he a masochist? Is he a relentless masochist or something? Let me stop. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting. Because he is the Fool. He's very, I guess naive, like the Robin Cole said in her book. Very, what's the word? Just maybe a slow learner. It takes him a long time to finally learn something and have it stick. And then realize, oh, okay, well, this freaking hurt the first time. It's going to hurt the second time, And that's why I'm going to leave it like that because I don't want to overcomplicate. But this is my rambling. So it might not resonate with you. But like I said, this is a learning curve. We're all learning together. And I'm just learning out loud. I'm talking out loud. And that's how I make things, make sense in my brain, by speaking out loud. So what my thing is, I'm not trying to teach you what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to learn with you. So please do tell me what your notes are if you wish. What does the Fool mean to you in reverse as the shadow? Do you understand what it means right side up? And if you do, then you can reverse it and apply the opposite and the shadow part of it. So you can do that by, going back to what the book said, Eden Gray's book, or Robin Cole's book. And I will even talk about, I should have done this in the beginning. I will even bring in What's Eating Gray, which I really do appreciate her mind and her how she explains things and understands things. So we can get more of a deeper nuance to this. Deeper explanation for this. Okay, the Fool. Here we have a youth about to step off the edge of a precipice. He symbolizes the life power before it enters into manifestation. Therefore, he represents inexperience, which certainly can be foolish. He faces northwest, the direction of the unknown. The sun behind him is still rising, for the spiritual sun never reaches its zenith. If it did, it would descend and decrease in power. The wand over the youth's shoulder, which is right here, is a symbol of the will, and tied to it is a wallet that is thought to carry universal memory and instinct. Another possible interpretation is that the wallet carries the 4 magic symbols that he will have to learn to use. The sign of the eagle on the wallet betokens virile strength and is also associated with the zodiacal sign Scorpio. The youth also carries a white rose, indicating that he is still free from animal forms of desire. The little white dog at the young man's heels. Let me get this for you. At the young man's heels has many possible meanings. He has been evolved from the wolf, showing that lower forms of life can be elevated and improved by human companionship. He also shows us that nature is glad to follow along in man's wake. The snowy mountains in several cards indicate the cold, abstract principles of mathematics, which govern all earthly phenomena. The Fool is about to pass into the cycle of life through which each soul must journey, stages so graphically described in Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. Think of the youth as spirit facing unknown possibilities of self-expression as he enters the world an ignorant babe or baby. That's exactly what I was thinking, a baby. He stands on spiritual heights about to step down into manifestation. Every man must journey forward and choose between good and evil. If he has no philosophy, he is the fool. Wow, that's freaking deep, let me tell you. So that is how we're going to end this reading. The next reading, or the next one, is going to be, of course, what? Say what? Who's next? The Magician, number 1. And of course, that will be more cleaner than this first one. Like I said, I'm learning as I go along. So please do check out the next one. I will have it more organized for you, and it will probably be a little shorter. And you'll be able to really have these in more condensed forms as we get along, as we go through this journey together into figuring out the shadows for each of the tarot cards. And thank you, Robin L. Cole, and thank you, Lovely Eating Gray, for your awesome knowledge, your interpretations. It really does help us bring everything together. Please let me know how you can work with the Fool in your shadow work. This makes, it opens up so many doors for me. It really expands my tarot knowledge, and I love it. There are shadows in everything, so I'm so happy that we're able to do this together. So until next week, thank you for watching, and you have a lovely day. Check out my playlist. I'm going to be adding more to this. If you're watching this months later, check out the playlist. You'll see more videos in there. I'll be linked below. Hey friends, I just wanted to let you know that I do have a tip jar if you would like to support this channel and keep the energy going. The energy exchange goes a long way. It helps me stay motivated with pick cards and other fun videos here on the channel. So there are different ways to do that. I have the join memberships right next to my subscribe button. If you click on that, you'll see all the different tiers that I offer. It's also reflective on Patreon, so whatever you decide to choose, it would mean so much to me, and your name gets put at the beginning of my videos to say thank you for your support. You help keep the fun train going. And I also would like to invite you to check out my Etsy shop. I have personal readings on there if you want to support me that way. Consider collecting one of your VLC decks by yours truly.